running into her. What's she doing this time? Ooh, looks like street interviews. Paimon has a funny feeling that we might be in for an interesting time if we go check it out. Shall we?
Alright, let's do this. Lyney story quest.
I see. So you believe that this warning letter was sent by the Phantom Weasel?
Absolutely. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The Phantom Weasel never acts as you expect. He must have faked his own death 10 years ago using a body double. Now that he's back, I'm sure the guards who worked on his case back in the day are in for a headache, but however this turns out in the end, the one thing it won't be is boring.
Couldn't agree more. As a journalist, I'm gonna get a lot of mileage out of this one. Thank you, sir, for your time. Now, whom should I interview next? Huh? Hey! What a coincidence! Fancy meeting you here.
What's up, Charlotte?
Perfect timing. So, the Phantom Weasel's latest warning letter. What are your thoughts?
Who the Phantom Weasel?
Yeah, this is the first time we're hearing of this one. Could you clue us in?
Huh? Oh, sorry. Yes, this case is from a decade ago. I guess you wouldn't know about it. Well, not to worry. You're in good hands because I'm a professional. The story goes like this. 10 or so years ago, a phantom thief became active in the court of Fontaine. Known only as the Weasel, nobody knew his true identity, and the authorities never managed to catch him.
Hello? 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 Who? I've had that damn PlayStation all up into my mic sound. Okay. I can still hear it.
Wow, cool! He sounds like one of those mysterious night burglars that you read about in novels.
Precisely. Well, except the part where they actually have a good reputation. Our Weasel targeted whatever people held dear, and no one was safe from his predations. He would just as soon steal a necklace from a rich merchant's safe as he would a toy doll given to a commoner child for their birthday.
Sounds like an absolute weirdo. Oh dang, I'm really loud.
I know. The phantom thieves you read about in novels rob the rich to pay the poor, but this guy did not discriminate. Unsurprisingly, this didn't work wonders for his public reputation. Every man and his dog wanted to see him behind bars.
I mean, that's what he wanted. He wanted to be wanted, so.
Yeesh. So, did they catch him?
Obviously not.
Not exactly. There's a good chance that the Weasel would still be at large to this day if it hadn't been for an accident 10 years ago. A magician named Caesar fell to his death in a botched high-altitude escape performance. When the police went through his personal effects, they found a hoard of stolen loot and gadgets used for criminal activities. And that was how the Phantom Weasel's identity was revealed to all. Sure enough, thefts in Fontaine went down after Caesar's death. But today, 10 years on, the notorious thief has once again issued one of his warning letters and pasted it on the gate of the Opera Epiclese for all to see. I had to squeeze through the crowd this morning to get a photo as soon as I heard. Here, it's this one.
It's
all written in Fontainian. I can't read none of that.
So, this is the warning letter, huh? Let's see what he wrote. 3 days from now, when evening falls, I shall take from you that which you hold most dear at the Opera House, just as you did to me 10 years ago.
It's obvious that someone is taking revenge for the loss of their family member or friend or whoever, or lover. That's what this sounds like.
This is, without a doubt, a clear declaration of criminal intent. After years of laying low, the Phantom Weasel is back with a vengeance. What once seemed like an open and shut case has been blown wide open again. But why has he reemerged now? And what does he want? I sense an epic scoop, and I'm going for it.
Uh-oh. If this thief will steal anything that other people value, does that mean even we might be targeted?
He might steal all your snacks. Or he might try to nab you, little Paimon.
Aww. But Paimon doesn't want to get kidnapped. Well, he'd have to go through you first. You would stop him, right?
Okay, the people have spoken. It's clear that the public
And
are
there
very
go Lyney
concerned
and
about the
Lynette
Phantom
up there.
Weasel's
I just
reappearance.
spotted them.
Let's see, I've got a photo of the letter, my interview notes. Yep, that should be enough to form the skeleton of my article. It does feel like something is missing, though. Something exclusive. Who should I interview next? I need someone with a more concrete connection to the Weasel. Is that who I think it is?
I can't wait for her to become a playable character. I really want to know what type of playable character she is.
Lyney!
Hopefully she'd be a cryo catalyst. Look like he's performing some magic trick.
Magic, magician, Caesar, the Phantom Weasel. That's it. Let's go interview Lyney.
I wonder, is the Traveler still gonna hold on to like reservations of trust towards Lyney? I hope he still does what his story was.
You see, the original Phantom Thief Caesar was a magician too. And what do Phantom Thieves and magicians have in common? They both have an air of mystery about them. Perhaps there's a connection there.
Are you serious? What sort of a deduction is that?
Oh, relax. My journalistic instinct tells me that an exclusive news story is beckoning. Let's go. No time for delay.
Could have swore I saw Ferminay up there. I hope the Traveler has reserves towards Lyney, the Forgotten Thief. Hold up. Only reason I clicked on it because I thought these little children was talking to them, but I guess not. Could have swore I saw Ferminay up here.
Wow, Mr. Magician! How did you know which card I picked?
Oh, it's simple. Come closer and I'll let you in on my secret. Magicians have a special skill called telepathy, which means we can read other people's minds.
Really? Then, what am I thinking now?
Well, first you need to relax, because I can see that you're clenching your fist in your mind, as if to say, no, I mustn't let him guess it.
Aww.
And now you're getting a little flustered. You're trying to find a way to empty your mind, to think of nothing at all. But the more you try to hide a secret, the easier it'll come out.
Nigga, he reading your body language. That's all he's doing. There's no such thing as real telepathy. My man's reading your body language from head to toe.
You snuck out from home today, didn't you? You told your family a little lie so you could come out and play. Now, that's not a good habit.
Coming from you. Cough. Lying ass thing. Let's continue.
You can tell? Oh boy, you really can read my mind.
Of course. Oh, and that's the end of my performance. You should really be heading home. Remember to apologize to your family, all right? They must be worried about you.
All right, got it. Bye, Mr. Magician.
I hope the Traveler has his reputation. He better not act all giddy, good, oh we cool, homie type shit.
Hey, Lyney?
Thank you so much. Thank goodness these writers for the writer for Get Your Impact Story Quest, and particularly Fontaine's. Thank goodness you kept that on, because it would be such bad writing if they had Lyney and Travel just be, oh hey yo, what's up my guy? It's like, no, there's no what's up my guy stuff going on around here.
Why, hello. We meet again. Are you looking for me? What's the situation?
Well, why don't you guess, Mr. Telepathic?
That sounded a bit aggressive from Paimon, I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, please. You didn't believe that spiel, did you? The power of telepathy is quite beyond me.
I'm sure that child would beg to differ. Seemed like you were right on the money.
That was nothing more than a little trickery. I made an educated guess based on his micro-expressions.
AKA body language.
That, plus the fact that he was the only kid here without his parents, and he looked as guilty as sin. He made it easy for me. You guys, on the other hand, let me guess. Don't tell me you're here for the Phantom Weasel, are you?
Wow! Got it in one! Is this more of your trickery at work?
Wait, really? No trickery this time. It was pure luck. This warning letter's been the talk of the town, so I figured that maybe you were asking around about that.
Bingo! I plan on writing a column reporting on the latest news about the Phantom Weasel. So, Lyney, what are your thoughts on this infamous thief's reappearance?
To be honest, it makes me angry.
Angry? Why?
You read his letter, right? The Phantom Weasel claims he's planning something in 3 nights' time at the Opera House. That's the night I'll be performing there.
Huh. What are the chances?
Seems like somebody out for blood. I ain't gonna lie. Yet again, he about to be in another situation where he's gonna be blamed for an action he did not cause. Granted, everybody knows it's gonna be the Phantom Weasel doing it, but still. Just kidding.
Wait a minute, you don't think he's after you, do you?
I love the fact that the traveler is just so stern-faced.
Well, if he is, then his warning is clearly a direct challenge to me personally. And if he's not, then it's still going to be a huge headache for me. The mere mention of the Weasel's name is enough to scare people off. So once the contents of that letter get out, barely anyone will be showing up to watch my show. But I've been preparing for this for a long time. I'm not about to let him ruin my big day. This leaves me with only one choice. I have to expose the Phantom Weasel's identity before the show begins.
Really? So what you're saying is, we might get to see a live duel between a famous magician and an infamous thief? Wow, this has exclusive written all over it.
This woman is crazy. Actually, I hope we get a story quest with her, and she might come out as a 4-star character. But like, if we get a story with her and have it be like how she'll go above and beyond to get her story exclusive, even at the cost of other people's personal feelings and shit like that. I hope she has a story like that, because it's gonna be real interesting.
To be honest, I'm not sure if I'll emerge the victor. The Phantom Weasel is a notorious crook, infamous for his inscrutable methods.
You're being far too modest, Lyney. I think your magic tricks are even more inscrutable than those of a thief.
Thanks for the compliment, though I have to say, I don't care much for the comparison.
Yeah, because after what happened at the Opera House, my guy, niggas looking at you sideways a little bit.
A lot of people liken magicians to thieves because we both have the ability to make things disappear without the person noticing. But there's an important difference that these people overlook. Allow me to demonstrate with a quick magic trick. Here, I have a flower, just an ordinary flower that was picked not long ago. Watch it carefully now. 3, 2, 1.
It's gone!
Where'd it go? I ain't gonna lie, the traveler's wide-eyed expression, it just looks so wild. Like, nigga, you got some large-ass eyes.
That's the question. Where did it go? Therein lies the difference between us. Thieves make precious things disappear, but only magicians make them reappear.
It's on Paimon's head.
If I could now invite you all to check your clothes, there might be a surprise in there somewhere.
A surprise? Let me see!
Hold up. I'm not crazy. I was just looking at the screen. There was nothing there. Am I tripping? Hold on. I'm about to end the recording and come back to it. Give me a minute. I'm about to do this right now. Checking the recording. Yeah, it appeared right when the screen came back to the traveler looking at his scarf.
It's right there! But how? You haven't moved this whole time!
He didn't even put it on me.
What an inadequate. Clearly, magic is the superior art form to theft.
Don't worry, I didn't take offense. I just wanted to take the opportunity to perhaps change some of the preconceived notions you might have about magicians. Since Caesar's death, a lot of people associate magicians with criminality. It can be quite frustrating.
Understandable, very, but at the same time, bro, you is working for the Fatui, who's not afraid to break laws of other nations, and on top of that, let's not forget that you were doing a secret investigation for the Fatui, mind you, particularly Arlecchino, however you pronounce her name, the knave, in a nation where it is your homeland, but at the same time, you were doing an investigation to something that's one of the most important pieces of this nation's culture, and particularly the Judeo system. So it's like, and you was doing it without the knowing of Nouvellette. So it's like, bro, come on now.
I can imagine. Coming back to your trick just now, might I presume that you are well versed in floral symbolism? For example, magicians often use rainbow roses in their flower-related performances to represent passion and romantic encounters. But you used a Lumidu spell, which, if I'm not mistaken, allude to separations. I'm curious to know if there was any deeper meaning behind this choice?
Impressive knowledge. It's no wonder you're such a successful journalist. But I'm afraid I don't know the first thing about floral symbolism. I'm just in the habit of using Lumidu spells in my magic. It sounds like something I should look into, though. I'll buy myself a copy of Fontaine's Floral Language Facts when I have some time. But it'll have to wait until this Phantom Weasel business is behind us.
Well noted. In that case, this brings us to the end of our interview. I, for one, am looking forward to the final showdown between you and the thief. Please feel free to get in touch to update me on any further developments. Otherwise, I will of course see you at your show in 3 days' time, but let's hope the Phantom Weasel is caught by then. If there's nothing else, I'll be off. You've given me lots to work with here, and I've got no time to lose if I want to write that exclusive piece. I'll see you all later.
Alright, later, Charlotte. Also, when he gonna take this flower off my scarf cape?
So, Lyney, are you gonna tell us how you did that flower trick now?
I'm afraid that's my little secret.
Can you afford to keep secrets around here, bro? After what happened in the opera house, I'm still gonna keep bringing it up. Cause niggas wanna excuse Lyney and Lynette. It's lying for just cause they were like potentially sex trafficked as children. But you get the gist. It's like, that don't excuse you lying about something that was important and necessary to prove your innocence.
Aww. Well, magicians are entitled to their secrets. But Paimon's really itching to know how it's done. You feel it too, right? So itchy.
The Phantom Weasel. You sure you be able to handle this?
Not so itchy then, huh?
Nope.
Well, since you're so concerned, how would you like to serve as my temporary magician's assistants and help me investigate?
Magician's assistants? Oh, that sounds fun! Assistants are technically magicians too! Also, it'll bring us one step closer to figuring out how that darn trick is done! Shall we go for it?
We'll help you with your investigation. What's your plan? Still, the traveler is still straight-faced.
Excellent. Thank you for putting your trust in moi. The first thing we need to look into is who Caesar really was. If he truly was the Phantom Weasel, that means that the Weasel is dead, and whoever wrote this warning letter is just a copycat criminal. But if he wasn't the Weasel? Well, that'll make things more interesting. It would mean that the Weasel lives, and he's been laying low all this time in some corner of Fontaine. And if we're investigating Caesar, his fiancée Gemma is a good place to start. Word is that she visits the cemetery often, so I asked Lynette to wait for her there. We should make a move. Let's go and rendezvous with Lynette.
Alright, that's cool and dandy.
You took your time.
Sorry, I bumped into the Traveler and Charlotte en route, and we ended up chatting for a while.
It's been a while, Lynette. We're working as Lyney's temporary assistants in the investigation of the Phantom Weasel.
I don't know how I should take Traveler doing a quick little smile, hello smile. Because he didn't do that with Lyney, he did it with Lynette though. So I guess the Traveler is a little picky towards which one he got a little bit of a gripe with. So it's clear today that the Traveler has a gripe with Lyney, not Lynette. Because Lynette just following Lyney, essentially.
Thank you. It's good to have you helping.
So, what's the situation? Have you seen Gemma?
Nope. I've been here a while, and she still hasn't shown up.
How bizarre. Maybe it was bad intel. Well, we won't get anywhere by standing around waiting. Traveler, Paimon, let's go ask around.
Alright, let's do it. Trying to figure out what I'm gonna eat. I'm hungry.
I'll wait for you here and see if Gemma shows up.
Excuse me, good sir. Do you by any chance know a Gemma?
Gemma? You mean Caesar's fiance? Sure I do. What's this about?
I'm just trying to get a hold of her because I need her help with something. I heard she comes here a lot.
Yeah, she does. Poor thing. It's no secret why either. She's heartsick. Ever since Caesar passed away, she's been coming here once every week to clean his grave. Often she just sits there in front of his headstone, lost in thought. Sometimes she talks to herself. I asked her what she was doing once. She said she wanted to speak to him again. She knows he's gone and can't hear her from the grave, but she just likes to spend time there, telling her fiancé all about how her life is going.
And she's been doing this ever since Caesar passed away? Oh, so 10 years. Wow. Their love must have been really strong.
I'll bet. Caesar's reputation fell apart after his identity was revealed, so no one else visits his grave. Gemma's the only one who still thinks about him after all these years. I don't know if the mind lives on in the waters after death, but if it does, I'm sure Caesar must be grateful to have someone who remembers him fondly. If I'm honest, I think this is all so unfair to poor Gemma. Her fiancé was a low-life crook. He doesn't deserve someone like her.
You talking a little spicy, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Granted, rightfully so, because he did steal from everybody. And niggas don't mess with niggas who steal from others. No one like criminal activity, for real. But it's like, bro, you still talking a little spicy. Wait, what's that buzzing?
Anyway, all of that said, she's running later than usual today. Normally, she'd be sitting in front of his grave by now. I wonder if she's okay. Well, that's everything I know, I'm afraid. You might have more luck asking some other people.
Cool.
All right, well, thanks for sharing all of this with us. We'll keep asking around.
The Traveler looks
You're
great
welcome.
in blue.
I just hope she'll be able to move on one day.
What am I gonna eat? I'm hungry.
A lot of people find cemeteries bleak and oppressive, but not me. I find the silence gives me a sense of peace, and something about being in the presence of the dead and buried sort of puts all of life's woes in perspective.
But an interesting way to look at it.
Did you hear the news? They're saying the Phantom Weasel's back.
You're kidding. Wait, isn't he dead?
I don't know anymore. All sorts of news flying around nowadays. I can never tell what's true and what isn't. But what if, just hypothetically, I mean, what if this Weasel's the real deal and Caesar was framed?
Called it. Seriously, 10 years ago, on the day it all went down, I said to myself, you know what? This guy's been set up. The Caesar I knew was a good guy. He gave balloons to children on the street, for Pete's sake. What, are we supposed to believe that he was a balloon thief or something? Give me a break.
Oh, please. Weren't you the one cursing his name to high heaven when the police announced the news? You were all, that gosh darn lousy son of a, you think you know a guy, or words to that effect.
Wait, did I say that? I don't seem to recall.
Sorry to interrupt.
Hello there. Sorry for disturbing you, but I couldn't help but notice you were discussing the Phantom Weasel. We're actually quite interested in this topic as well, but we're struggling to get to the bottom of it. Do you think you could spare a moment to tell us a little bit about Caesar?
You've come to the right people. Yep, I was there. Back when Caesar used to perform magic tricks on the street. He was a great magician. The best trick I ever saw him do was pop a transparent balloon, only for a whole bunch of doves to fly out from the inside. I was right up close and didn't blink or look away once, but for the life of me, I still don't have the faintest clue how he pulled it off. Really incredible stuff.
I saw him perform too. He always used to bring some gifts along for the kids who came to watch his show, and he'd hand them out after he was done. Sometimes, he even got the kids to write their wishes down, and then he'd make the items on the wish list appear in his next show.
Huh. He doesn't sound like such a bad guy.
But after he died, there were also rumors that he used the wish list to find out what was precious to people, with the intent to steal it later. As I'm sure you know, the Phantom Weasel would steal just about anything from anyone.
Whatever the case, now that the Weasel is back, Caesar's become a hot topic once more. I bet Gemma must be pleased. If Caesar's name gets cleared, maybe it'll finally give her some solace after all this time. Oh, speak of the devil. That's her over there. If you've got any more questions about Caesar, she's definitely the one to ask.
So that's Gemma. Is it just Paimon, or does it look like something's wrong? Wait, it looks like she's injured. Come on, let's see if she's okay.
Injured? She walked too fast for me to see anything.
Hi there. You're Gemma, right?
What a weird transition. Well, anyway, let's continue.
Who's asking?
Don't be afraid, we mean no harm. It looks like you're injured. How bad is it?
Thanks for your concern, but you didn't answer my question. Who are you, and what do you want with me?
My name is Lyney, and this is my sister Lynette.
My name's Paimon, and this here's the Traveler. We're investigating the Phantom Weasel.
Mm-hmm.
The Weasel posted a warning letter this morning. If he still lives, that means that Caesar was falsely accused. You knew Caesar better than anyone else. So if you're willing, we'd love to hear what you think about all this. I promise you can trust us. We won't hurt you. In fact, we'll do all we can to keep you safe.
I never believed that he was the Weasel.
Huh. I suspected as much. Okay, so going back 10 years, do you remember anything strange in the weeks leading up to the accident? Did Caesar have a falling out with anyone, for instance?
No, not that I know of.
Got it. All right, sorry for disturbing you.
If you don't have any more questions, please leave. I want to be alone with him.
I'm gonna let her be. She loved her man, for real. Respect.
Judging by the look on her face, there's definitely something fishy about her.
She's lying. She definitely knows something.
Perhaps she simply doesn't trust us. Sounds pretty familiar. Did this happen in the Optic Chest? Yeah, but keep bringing it up.
That's fair. We're just a bunch of strangers who showed up and started questioning her about things that happened a whole decade ago. It makes sense that she'd be wary around us. In any case, I doubt we'll get any further here, so let's call it a day. Meet me outside Hotel de Boer tomorrow, and then we'll start the next step of our plan.
Sure. What, 3 o'clock in the morning?
Over here.
Lynette's not joining us today?
I've had her follow Gemma and see if we can make any inroads with her. They should be at a cafe right now. Still, I don't think that Gemma's likely to open up to us. So, we need a contingency plan.
Where should we start?
Today, we'll be looking into a guy named Lorenzo, Caesar's former pupil and assistant. When Caesar passed away, all the stolen goods discovered in his home were confiscated and returned to their rightful owners. But Lorenzo was the only one privy to all his magic secrets, and he inherited his craft.
Makes sense.
For long, Lorenzo was the next big magician in town, his fame surpassing even that of his master, and it made him very wealthy. He's since left the magic scene, though, and these days, he's a wealthy businessman with his fingers in a lot of different pies.
Talk about victory of succession. Or success, and even talking about, oh shoot, this dude craft, he was awesome with his craft, but I learned his craft, but I did it 10 times better than him, and now I'm a wealthy man. Ain't that some shit?
I had to pull a lot of strings, but I managed to get him to agree to a couple of drinks with me. Be warned though, I hear he's got a hair-triggered temper. We'd best be careful.
What time is it? Hopefully I get this done in
You
time.
neglected to mention that you were bringing 2 other people with you.
I didn't expect him to look like this, nor for his voice to be this deep.
My apologies. These 2 are my assistants. When they heard that I was meeting with the former magic maestro himself, they begged and pleaded with me to bring them along. And if it's no trouble, a couple of autographs would really make their day.
Oh, forget the pleasantries, just sit.
Dang, nigga.
Get a load of this guy. Forget the pleasantries, he says, but he looks pretty happy about Lyney stroking his ego.
I only agreed to meet since we're both magicians. Do me a favor and cut to the chase. I have more important things to do than drinking.
Like what?
Much obliged, sir. As it happens, the matter I want to address is also related to magic. Yesterday morning, a warning letter from the Phantom Weasel appeared on the entrance to the Opera House. He claims to be planning something for the same evening that I'm scheduled to do a magic show there. As such, I believe that I may well be his target. I have to get to the bottom of this to ensure that my show can go ahead as planned. Naturally, any investigation into the Weasel starts with a few questions about Caesar, who...
And now he's about to set off with anger.
What is there to investigate?
What he's standing up for, Lorenzo?
Caesar was the Weasel, and he's been dead for 10 years. So what if some sick creep thought it'd be funny to write a warning letter? It changes nothing. Are you trying to tell me you actually bought it?
Of course, smartass. Who wouldn't feel on edge, especially knowing that they're after what just happened in the opera house not that a couple weeks ago, with Lyney's assistant dying because of his assistant also killing himself by messing with his equipment and framing Lyney by it simultaneously. Like, what are you talking about? This is a natural reaction that Lyney would have.
Please, sir, no need to get so worked up. I do concede that a copycat is but one possibility.
Possibility? It's a fact, Lyney. Look, my patience is limited, so listen carefully while I'm still willing to put up with you. The Weasel is dead. Period. Everyone knows that, so do yourself a favor and quit this investigation. It'll lead you nowhere. Look, if this affects your magic show in any way, I will personally compensate you for any losses.
Nigga, I would told him you gonna compensate me tenfold for telling me not to do this.
Oh, sir, I'm honored, really. But this isn't about finances for me. My pride as a magician is what's at stake here, Lorenzo. Copycat or not, this person has thrown me the gauntlet, and I must meet their challenge head on.
Your pride? Don't mince words with me, boy. Just tell me, what exactly are you seeking to do?
I want to find out the Phantom Weasel's true identity. I have to know for myself what really happened 10 years ago.
What would that accomplish? And what do the events of 10 years ago have to do with you, anyway? Look, you of all people should know that a magician never reveals their secrets. And in any case, dead men don't talk. So if you really care about your magician's pride, then you'll forget about Caesar and move on.
I ain't gonna lie. It is the story for some reason. It felt like they wrote this part to keep aiming the target on this character or on Lorenzo's back to make it seem like he's the fucking Phantom Weasel Part 2. And it's making me think it's him because he pushing so hard, making it sound like it's him.
Uh-oh. This is getting awkward.
It's time for us to step in, don't you think?
Lorenzo? Is that? Oh, it is you! I know that big, booming voice anywhere. What's up, my man? You want to grab a drink with me?
Another day, I'm busy.
Oh, come on. You can't be all business all the time. You know what they say? Live fast, die young. You gotta learn how to kick back and relax once in a while.
If I wanted your life advice, I'd ask for it. Now get out of my face and go be drunk somewhere else.
Sorry, my good sir. I don't believe I've had the pleasure.
Oh, hey! Edmondo. He and I are business pals. We worked together a bunch of times.
Okay, I was wondering how he was gonna pronounce his name, but I feel like I already knew how to pronounce it before he even said it.
This is your first time meeting him? Oh, he's always like this. Foul-mouthed and hard-nosed. Never heard a kind word out of this guy the whole time I've known him. And he wonders why he can't get a girlfriend, despite being, what, pushing 40, 30, something? Anyway, point is, a lot older than when he first got rejected by the girl he was into. And he's still into, from what I hear.
Oh no, don't tell. No, it's no way that homeboy was into his master, the magician. There's no way that Lorenzo was into Caesar's wife, and that was the girl he was into before they got married to each other. Cause if that is, it's really painting on his back that he the dude who killed him, or was doing the dirty work. It's almost just getting a little crazy.
Shut up and get out of my face. Another word out of you and you can forget about doing business with me ever again. Do I make myself clear?
Sorry, I may have had a little too much to drink. All right, I'm gonna leave. Don't work too hard.
I think it's high time I made a move as well. If you really want to investigate this, Lyney, be my guest.
I ain't gonna hold you, bro. The fact that you getting this attitude you got, my guy, you is never gonna find a girlfriend with this type of attitude. You can't be all this booming commanding voice, boom, boom, boom. You can't do that all the time. You gotta be smooth about it. Except for the dude myself who don't have a girlfriend.
But if nothing good comes of it, don't say I didn't warn you.
Well, that fell to pieces in a rather spectacular fashion. Any thoughts?
There's something strange about him, obviously.
Totally. And what was all that about compensating you for your losses? Why would someone you just met make an offer like that?
True.
He's gotta be hiding something. And not like Gemma. She was a little suspicious, but this guy's definitely covering something up.
They're gonna subvert expectation, and it's not gonna be him because it's way too much. Because it's way too obvious for it to be him. Like they wrote it too obvious to make it seem like it's him.
I think so too. We need to look into Lorenzo more closely. That guy Edmondo seems to know a thing or two about him. He only just left. Let's see if we can catch up with him.
Agreed. Oh, shoot, I gotta wash my. Hold on, look, he's throwing up over here. Yeah, he's throwing up.
You okay there?
Who are you? Oh, it's you guys. Don't worry about me. I must have had one too many. I just need to ride it out. I said way too much back there, didn't I? Yeah, I nearly talked myself into complete financial ruin. Note to self, no more drunken chats when Lorenzo's around.
So he was serious about threatening to cut you off? Ugh, Paimon knew he was a bad egg.
Hey, keep your voice down. Don't go prying into Lorenzo's personal affairs. Bad things happen to people who ask too many questions or make an enemy out of him.
What kind of bad things?
Don't even ask. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to cut this conversation short. I'm not crossing that line again. And take it from me, trouble with Lorenzo is one thing you don't need in your life. You saw him flare up back there. I don't know what you said to him, but clearly it touched a nerve. That's not a good sign. You're too young for this. Don't get in over your head. I'm leaving.
He's making it sound like this dude gets people body bagged out of the way or do horrible things to him. But in more realistic fashion, he probably just cuts off business with them entirely, and it ends up these people being ruined and shit. I feel like he's exaggerating it a lot.
And there he goes. What do we do now, Lyney?
Shh. I think we're being watched. Someone was listening in to our whole conversation.
Oh, never mind. Shoot, I guess the dude was on the nose about it, because I did not even notice that nigga in the background until Lyney looked. I was like, ain't that one of the dudes from Madame Muzel's freaking the whatever that crew that she got called? I forgot what them fools called, but you know what I'm talking about.
Don't say anything and don't look back. Any altercation in the city will attract the guards. We better take this elsewhere.
And there's a box over there I gotta get. Okay, if we could.
You followed us a long way. Why don't you come out and introduce yourselves?
Oh, it's a squad.
So, Lyney. And where's your sister? Ain't she with you today?
None of your business.
Save us the trouble and go fetch her for us. Let's not drag this out.
You talking crazy, smooth face. Pacino. Ooh, that's a nice name.
Doesn't like the tone of your voice, mister. Who sent you, huh?
Yeah, who sent you niggas? Cause y'all about to get slapped around.
Save your questions, missy. You ain't gonna need answers where you're going. Capiche?
Painter de Nero. Yeah, what y'all supposed to be, the European mafia, nigga?
Looks like we can't avoid this fight. Now, I'm not the strongest fighter, so I hope you're ready to back me up.
Duh, I got it, bro. I got a good team on my squad. Also, I better be able to play as you.
Don't worry, we got this.
You mean I got this? After it explodes. That's nice.
Curses. They're tougher than we thought.
Nah.
Vision wielders are always trouble. Intimidation ain't gonna work like it did on the lady.
Oh, so they went after homegirl, I forgot what her name is. But it's like, I would really love for there to be an antagonist who despises people who are vision wielders. I would just love an antagonist like that in this game.
Come on, let's scram!
Hurry, wise guys! We ain't through with you yet! Oh, they got away! Did you catch what they said just before they left? Something about intimidating someone else. Sounds like they just wanted to rough us up as a scare tactic, and they've already done it to someone else, but who?
Gemma.
You're right. She was injured when we saw her yesterday, and she acted like she had something to hide. Maybe she was too scared to tell us the truth because those guys had threatened her.
Well, if that's the case, she should be more willing to open up to us when she learns that those thugs won't be bothering her anymore. Let's head back to the cafe and see if we can get any information from her.
So, oh, there they go. Had I just been sitting in silence this whole time?
Gemma?
You again. What is it this time?
We just ran into the men who've been threatening you, and we gave them a taste of their own medicine. So, you can relax now. We're here to protect you.
What? Why? I didn't tell you anything. Why would they come after you?
Sounds like they're no strangers to you.
That's putting it mildly. I know them all too well, and I hate them with every fiber of my being. It's been 10 long years, and still every time I try to look into Caesar's death, they show up and warn me not to do anything stupid. How do I know I can trust you? Do you really think you can get to the bottom of it all? And why are you doing this?
I'm afraid I can't reveal all the details just yet, but I can promise you this. I will expose the Phantom Weasel's true identity. Because you see, this is a personal matter of the utmost importance. I give you my word. Trust me.
Okay. How can I help you?
I've heard that Caesar used to have a magic workshop where he kept a lot of his personal effects. If possible, I'd like to take a look at them. Do you know where it is?
The Fleuve Sonde. But the place was sealed up by the police after his death, and no one's been there since. I also know that the Fleuve Sonde is dangerous territory. Lots of hostile groups lurking around. If you're serious about going there, please be careful.
Understood. Lynette, you stay here and take care of Gemma. Don't let her come to harm.
Got it. But if I'm staying here, I'm ordering dessert.
I mean, bon appetit. But stay sharp, too. They're likely to come for you while I'm away.
Okay. Alright. Power saving mode off. I'll start taking this more seriously now.
I love her facial expression.
If Gemma gave us the right location, then the workshop should be right nearby. Huh. Looks like these boxes are blocking the entrance. Let's shift them away first. There we go. It should be just down here.
Ooh, we're going lower.
That's weird. Have we reached the end already? There's nothing here. Maybe this was a wasted trip.
Lyney, what are you doing?
This place seems a little too ordinary for a magician's workshop. There's a distinct lack of mystery. We've triggered quite a few devices on the way here. I'm starting to wonder whether Caesar built this whole place as one big, elaborate magic contraption. If so, then there must be more to this place than meets the eye. Maybe a hidden room somewhere. Aha! If I just move this book, then hopefully... And... presto!
A secret passageway! How did you know?
I'm a magician too, and apparently great minds really do think alike. Looks pretty big inside. Let's head in and take a look around.
Finally, a treasure chest. Goodness gracious.
Why have you stopped, Lyney? Is there some device in that box?
It just looks familiar somehow. Let me check this out for a second while you guys go on ahead. If anyone makes a major discovery, let's rendezvous here.
Alright, see you in a bit.
Yeah, you better not go. Goes a hat. And I unlock the door.
Wow! There's a hidden room here! Let's see! Oh, this bookcase is full of Caesar's own notes. He wrote a lot about the principles of magic. Whew. Much too advanced for Paimon. Hey, look! Is that Caesar's diary on the table? This book's thick as a brick! Let's take a peek inside it, shall we?
Alright, we go. About the wish list.
At one of my shows a few days ago, a child asked me how I pulled candy out of my hat. As a joke, I told the kid that the hat has a built-in wish-granting machine. Next thing I know, today a whole bunch of kids were pestering me to pull all sorts of things out of the hat. So I told them another white lie. The machine needs time to power up, but in the meantime, you can write your wishes down. Well, they took me up on that offer, enthusiastically. As I write this, I've only just got back from running around all over town, buying the things they wanted. Boy, are my legs sore.
Shoot, you sound like a stand-up guy. A villainous ass nigga wouldn't bother doing this.
I wound up saving very little this month, but that's not a major issue. I now have a bigger problem. How am I going to hide all these things inside my hat?
Shoot, if it's a large item, it's gonna take forever. But it's food and stuff, it's like, bro, I can only imagine the planning you need to do to pull that trick off.
2 children came to talk to me after today's show. I don't know why they were out on their own. They looked much too young to be unsupervised. I do hope they got home safely. Anyway, they said that they wanted me to teach them how to do magic. It's not uncommon for children to ask this, of course, but I've never seen any of them as serious about it as these 2. I told them that learning magic is very hard work, but that didn't faze them at all. It's like they already knew. They seemed so committed. I couldn't turn them down.
And those 2 children were Lyney and Lynette, obviously. Ain't nobody stupid.
It seems like something's bothering Lorenzo lately, but he won't open up to me about it. Surely he's not upset that I agreed to teach those 2 children. I'll have to talk him around. I have a good feeling about those kids. They're naturally talented, and it seems like they're not new to the world of magic. They have all sorts of fantastic ideas. All I'm really doing is helping them develop a more professional standard training plan. They wanted to call me Master, but I told them they absolutely mustn't. Any magician worth their salt could have taught them what I have. They're the geniuses here. Compared to them, I don't deserve to be called any sort of Master. With time, I have no doubt that they could become far greater magicians than I. My only concern is why they're so mature for their age. I fear they've had to grow up too fast. I don't dare to imagine what they must have been through. Gemma thinks so too. She doesn't like being around them. Says that their eyes are too piercing. They don't bother me, but then again, I've never been the sharpest tool in the shed.
Talk about being afraid of children. Being afraid of children so much because the child is so aware. Talk about being afraid of children because the child has grown up so fast that the child's eyes can no longer look at the world with just joyous, but it has to pierce at the world to unveil the BS. It's like, talk about being afraid of children. I never liked this idea of adults being afraid of children. Like, I even heard something about adults having phobia of being around children, and they're genuinely scared towards them. or even fear of touching them. I learned that about that. That's a thing in Japan too, where the parents of the children will be so afraid to touch their own child that they will put on gloves and like hand masks and whatnot, or things to cover them up so the child doesn't touch them. And it's like, what? Excuse you? That's crazy.
It's nearly time for me to go on tour. I asked the two kids if they'd like to come with me, but they shook their heads. I once overheard them talking about their father and their mission. Sounds like their parents have other plans for them. I guess we'll be parting ways soon.
That's interesting. Cause the way Lyney told his story, he said he said that they were by themselves. Their parents had passed away and whatnot before they even learned how to do magic. And not only that, he said that while they were learning, or after they came across the dude who taught them how to do magic tricks, they was on the street doing magic. Then the aristocrat showed up and took them in. So it sounds like they were still practicing magic during the time they were living with the aristocrat before the father came, the knave came into their life. And they were still doing it even after the knave came into their life.
It's only been 10 days since I first met them.
10 days?
But I think that I've gotten a feel for their personalities now.
What? Wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. 10 days? He says it's only been 10 days since he's first met them. So that means Lyney was lying out his ass about when he met the knave. That mother effer was lying out of his ass. The dude sat there and told us that he met the knave after they had been adopted by the aristocrats. There's no way that happened in the course of 10 days. No freaking way. Within 10 days time, they met the magician that taught them how to do magic, did magic, then the aristocrat came, took them in, and then all that stuff that led up to Lyney and Lynette and meeting the knave. It's no way that happened in the course of 10 days. No freaking way. That mother effer was lying through his teeth about when he met the knave.
They're very tough, but also very cautious. And they trust no one but each other. This, I fear, is not a good habit to have. They hide things from me too. For example, when I asked them where they live and why they wanted to learn magic, they lied.
Ah, fuck.
That's the thing about children. Whenever they're trying to cover something up, it always shows somehow.
I freaking knew it. That nigga was lying through his teeth about everything. Let me find out this nigga sat there and lied through his teeth about the whole thing with the aristocrats betraying him and meeting the knave. Cause that nigga clearly lying through his teeth about that whole story.
I can sense that their lives have been hard. Possibly even dangerous too. They're not like other children. It's a shame that I can't do more to help them.
I thought this nigga Lyney was lying. I know he is.
After thinking things over, I decided to tell them a bit about how I see the world. It's full of lies and falsehoods. And that is why we must find our own truth. P.S. I hope they won't find my nagging annoying. Children are so opinionated nowadays. Will it do them more harm than good for someone they've only known 10 days to lecture them like that?
And it's like, that's what I'm saying. He only known them for 10 days. 10. It's no freaking way that all that event stuff Lyney and Lynette Lyney was talking about to us at the end of Act 2 is at the end of Act 1. There's no effing way that all that happened within 10 days. That's BS. He was lying.
PPS. Maybe I'm overthinking this. Children aren't interested in grand philosophies. It probably just went in one ear and out the other. I bet they've already forgotten every word I said. Oh, Caesar, Caesar. Just mind your own business next time.
I hope the Traveler confronts Lyney on it. He better say something about it.
Two magic geniuses with a father and a mission, huh?
Yes, the Traveler looked suspicious.
Sounds a lot like he was writing about Lyney and Lynette, don't you think?
The Traveler better say something.
did this.